Yo boys, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing the good old-fashioned Assassination Rogue, and yeah, I mean, twos wise, I've really enjoyed it. Now solo shuffle wise, for some reason on my mage, I cannot gain MMR, but on my rogue, I'm automatically 2300 or 2350 MMR even though I'm 0 CR. So it has not been fun. I'm literally like 5 and 7 right now on him. Yeah, it's definitely been a rough. I mean, I think my first game ever, or like my second game, which because I did my first game back when at the start of the expansion. Um, but yeah, it's been rough. I mean, I haven't really queued on it. I've just tried to get just some conquest off of it, but yeah, just the queues are just ridiculous. And I'm still trying to get past negative because I have like that pet peeve of being negative, even if I've only played like 6 games or whatever, or 12 games. I just cannot stand it. So I have to like sit in that queue and get positive before I can feel like before I can just quit playing it. Because honestly, I don't really enjoy playing it. Um, I mean, on my mage, it's okay. I mean, I'm back up. So I went from 2055 all the way back down to 1999, back up to 2030. Uh, it's been ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, but here, as you can see, I'm double bleeding. If the warrior's going me, I'm sitting on their healer. That way, I can just, as you can see, I'm cleaving both of them, and they're both just dying. That's how you. So anytime the warrior is on you, you can just hit the healer, and you'll end up just killing both of them. I probably didn't need to disarm him there, but I did anyway. I kidneys him here. I blind this guy. He's gonna trinket. Just kidding. He holds for no reason. These guys were really stingy with their trinkets. This Mistweaver did not trinket one time this game. That's how tryhard they are. Maybe it's because they knew it was me. Maybe they knew the X-Vic was back in town, and it was time to try hard. But yeah, Sub-Rogue's feeling good. Like I said, we're still trying to push with the cat. She's still under gear now. If you check PvP her now, we've gotten her a lot more gear. She has like she has all of her crafted pieces on the rest of her now, and now she has her engineering goggles. So we're looking pretty good. And now we just need to get her 2 set and 4 set, make that healing 2 times better, and we'll be skyrocketing up. She's like close to 1900 already, and we just started on her 2 days ago. So we went from 0 to 1900 pretty quickly, especially when she started out with greens and blues, not even blues. She had like 2 blues on. So it's been a she's also learned a bunch of stuff. So it's been pretty nice. And I know in my things you guys wanted me to push a random looking group and help them out. So I think we'll do that in one of the upcoming videos. That'll be fun to do, just to help somebody out, get some rating, and get her done, or push with them. We'll see. But as you can see, we're kind of just double bleeding and we're killing both of them. Now, Assassination Rogue is a dampener, so honestly, your best comp is probably Rusted Druid. And as you can see, my Rusted Druid's insanely already. So, like, she needs to be going to drink, or I can't tell yet. So she's already insanely So at that point, all you need to do as a Druid is Night Elf and then drink. That's like the only reason you should be using your Night Elf racial, other than to like stop clones on you or CC. But like that's mainly in the start. So we almost end up killing the Mistweaver, but I'm getting perma charged by this warrior, very annoying like usual. And my druid did stun the Mistweaver, which was probably pretty bad, but it's whatever. So the Mistweaver ends up just dying here because he decided just to not hold it, like to not just shrink it. I guess I don't know. Like I guess maybe he doesn't know he has shrink it. So she stuns him again, which is again a really bad stun. But at this point, I kind of just PV him down, and he's just dead. So we end up taking him out. And it looks like he didn't intervene as healer either because he was CC'd, so we end up getting a W. And there it is. And see, as you know, and as you guys can tell, Assassination bleeds in twos wise is insanely good. And in twos, it's perfect. Now, in solo shuffle, it can be a little bit rough. Now, my second game wasn't too bad. I could have went 6-0, but I had this Ellie that just kept dying insanely quick, and it was whatever. But I'm not in really the mood to push more than one character at the moment. And I want to play my arcane mage, even though it's kind of frustrating when I'm gaining 20s for plus 5s and plus 4 2s. But whatever. I still enjoy playing arcane. and it's a lot more fun than playing Rogue. I mean, Rogue just feels super weird right now. I mean, in solo it's not terrible. It just all depends on the comp you're playing against. Like if you face two melees, you'll just get because Assassination Rogue is all about dampening. Like you're really never gonna kill anybody without damp. And even if you have shit like once it gets to like 50% plus, that's when you have a kill chance window. Because at that point they're not able to heal through your shiv. So that's where Assassination Rogue just comes in handy. So if you're playing a comp, or if you're playing with healers that like a Restored or something like that, it's really good. But at the same time, it all comes down to like if you're facing a paladin, it's really bad because then you got to go through Bob, Bubble, Land Hands, Trinket, Walls, and that's just from that one person. So like you don't like to face people that have a ton of cooldowns. You want to face like warriors and DKs and casters to where they're gonna be just getting them taken out. But a lot of these times I've just been facing a bunch of reds and reds just don't die. Like a good ret will just live forever because they have so much utility. And unfortunately, you can't really ever get a good gouge off. The one problem with gouge is it doesn't like take off all the bleeds, which I wish it did. That way I'm able to like gouge the healers without it just breaking. But whatever. So here I end up thinking I had kick, but I didn't. I should have just vanished goaded him to stop the clone, but it didn't really matter that much because we still have Iron Bark. I end up gouging him to stop the cast for a second, and we're kind of just pumping him. So as you can see, we have both bleeds up on him. You always want to have double bleeds, unless you're going way out of your way to do it. It's probably not worth. Like if they're right on you, you might as well just bleed them both, and just keep pumping. That way, if you want to swap on the healer and get a kidney off, you're able to just kill him, or able to get more pressure out. So I disarm him on his A-bomb and all of his dam. And yeah, I will be doing solo shuffle on my SAS, but it's gonna be a little bit later. I'll wait until my mage is around 2300 or so to play on my rogue and push my rogue. But at the moment, it's not looking too good, and I don't really want to waste my time in a 40-minute queue at 2300 MMR just because the game wants to be bad. And it would be good if my MMR was like that. If I didn't start out like that. So as you can see, I end up almost dying here. Thankfully, I end up surviving. My druid's at this point, so like it's either I don't even know how we're surviving. Like she's I have 0 cooldowns, and at this point we're just doing damn and doing most of the. I have burst, and this is our one win condition. This is like okay, we either win or we lose. This is like we're gonna die if we don't win right here. So I end up kinning him in a second. I'm trying to reach him. He knows that I'm trying to kidney him. So I trinket and I kidney the druid. That way he can't heal him. Which could have been a mistake, but at the same time we're stopping the pressure of healing, and then I have Shiv back, so at this point he's just dead. It's either whoever dies first at this point, and he ends up trying to heal him up, but unfortunately it's just too high damp, and I have bleeds on him, so he ends up getting taken out, and it was a nice game. I ended up just kicking air, just like, yeah, I don't even know. But yeah, we ended up winning the game. Pretty easy. Or actually, that was not an easy game, that was actually a rough game. A lot of these are rough games. Because it's really hard to dampen people when my druid's really undergeared and has no tier sets and really nothing like that. So here we end up opening on the warrior to get bleeds, and then we're going to swap to the druid. And then the druid's going to run after me. Usually the druid's going to go after you if you go on the druid, because like nobody's able to just, like if I just sit on the druid, he's going to die. Because I have shivs, I have stuff like that. At the same time though, it is a resto druid, so he's not, a resto druid should never die unless it's like 80% damp. Like if my druid's surviving till 80% or like 60 plus damp, which is pretty disgusting with her not having, any gear, and she's only been playing it for like 2 days after not playing it since season 1. So it's been a minute, and she's already improved quite a lot. But as you can see, I'm double bleeding. I've actually said as you can see a lot. For some reason, I have this thing of just saying a lot of words. It just depends on what I'm talking about. But I notice that I say it a lot. Like, I say a certain word, certain words, like, a bunch of times. So, here I end up just vanishing and popping off on my burst. He actually almost dies here. If he didn't have, he almost dies through Trank, because I have every bleed on him. I put my Vanish crit into him. Now he comes out early. He almost ends up dying so close. He almost dies, but he gets rallied, he gets Iron Barred, and he ends up using every bleed, so he's instantly, he 100-0s himself, so he ends up topping him off. She ends up cloning the warrior, which was probably pretty bad. She probably should have cloned the druid since he had full hots, but oh well. So I end up bleeding the warrior again. I end up trinketing to put bleeds on the druid before he can run away from me. I'm making sure I don't line my healers so the warrior can't just instantly, get me, but I end up stepping the druid, kidneying him. I probably should have waited till he got out of form to kidney, but it's whatever. So like, as long as you're just keeping pressure, it's all about dampening, so it's like whoever just gets the higher dampening first, and whoever ooms first wins. And as you can see, the mana difference is pretty insane right now, so she probably needs to go drink. Unless we get like a good... I mean, it's pretty high dampening already, so he's pretty much just dead. There's not much he can do. I mean, he can try to top himself off, but he's pretty much just toaster oven, yeah. So he ends up dying, and at this point we're still pretty scared because he can trinket my blind, and I have nothing. So at this point I'm just going to step my druid and try to survive. She gets an insane, whatever that's called, typhoon or whatever. I don't know what the word is. Vortex. She gets a good vortex into a clone, which stops his damage, because I have 0 cooldowns, and we're not looking hot. No, we do have Ironbark coming up. Actually, no, we have Ironbark right now. So she ends up skinning. She ends up trinketing the fear, that way she can keep herself up, and at this point it's pretty much GG. She can just Ironbark me and it's over. So she Ironbarks me on the stun, and yeah, at this point it's kind of just GG. So, yep, that is how that goes. We're going to end up killing him, vanishing, and he ends up just getting popped off by my vanish here. So I shiv, vanish, and instantly take him out. So this rogue mage just got absolutely outplayed in every way possible. So here, I know he's going to bomb me, so I tell my druid, okay, run into the bomb and Ironbark me. So now she kind of knows, so she's going to run into the bomb and then instant Ironbark me. So she Ironbarks right now, and at this point I don't have to trinket. I'm going to cloak, and now we're chilling. Now, she should have instantly, instead of healing me first, Ironbarked and then used my heal, but it works out. She ends up tranking the rogue's stun, so now he can't do anything. And at this point, I'm just stopping their go. So they're going to CC the druid, and I'm going to line. So at this point, they CC him for no reason, and they knock him, but they knock her over the ring of... It was weird. So she got knocked up and then over the ring. So that was pretty nice. Even though, honestly, she probably could have got hit by the ring and it would have been good. So I ended up kinning him to get blocked because you get that extra bleed from kinny. And then I used my racial to get the cheap shot, and that's basically how you do it. And we end up getting his trinket from the blind. And at this point, we just pop off and there's nothing he can do. I have trinket, she has trinket, and it's pretty much GG. So, it was a good try, but yeah, these guys didn't really stand a chance. It is kind of rough, honestly, to be fair, because I play rogue mage, so I know how to play against it. So it is kind of rough to face somebody that knows how to, especially with rogue mage, when you don't have, when mage just dies so quick, there's really nothing you can do. And then on top of that, you have to use every CD correctly, you have to CC correctly, you have to do your setups correctly. Everything has to be perfect with rogue mage, or else a druid can just out-heal your damage, or, just kind of do whatever they want, because they can just shift. So here I end up cloaking, and I evasion on top of it just in case I don't want to die, because she has a good habit, or a bad habit, of cycloning to stop the damage. She kind of just listens to what I say. So I say cyclone the ret on his burst, but I need to specify that she needs a cyclone after she taunts me, because like usually she'll try to cyclone, and then this guy will just keep pumping me while she's trying to cyclone, and I don't have hots on me, and that's how you end up just getting 100 0'd. Because you don't have hots on you before, you get cyclone. So we end up getting bubble here, I'm pretty sure, or land hands. Nope, we get swap. So I'm going to swap to the priest since he's low, and then I'm going to kidney shot him. And then I think we get sank and sack, let's see. We get PS. And we get land hands, I'm pretty sure. I can't tell, unless it was like a fat heal, but I'm pretty sure it was land hands. So we end up swapping to the ret, and as you can see, we're double bleeding, and we're pumping them off. This is wings, so this is a scary point. We have no CDs, and I'm just trying to kite here, so I end up kidneying him. So now he does have bubble, but he knows if he bubbles, the chance of him killing me is not very high, even though I'm really low. And look at the trends healing right here. So I'm getting topped off by those 2 trends, or actually it might be 3. And as you can see, the trends are just popping off, and they're away now, so I'm not getting much healing value out of them. But she ends up cycloning the priest right when I was getting a kidney, so that kind of sucked, but it was whatever, because it doesn't really matter if I get the kidney off or not, because I'm just doing so much bleed dam and I'm double bleeding that it's kind of irrelevant. So like that's why I don't really get, it's not that big of a deal if she does that for like once or twice a game. It just only matters if I'm bursting onto it. So like if I click all my damage, so here we end up getting a kick and bubble. So here I'm gonna swap to the priest because he bubbled. I'm gonna bleed the priest, and then I'm gonna bleed the rat when he comes out. I'm trying to line his wings here. I have evasion right now, so I click evasion on all of his burst. So that's nice. So he's gonna swap to the druid most likely because he knows he can't hit me through evasion. I end up kitting him on top of it. He's gonna trinket here. She ends up bashing instantly off of it. I end up gouging, and at this point I can just blind him and just pop off here. There's not much he can, and I end up breaking it because I tried to tab. I tried to tab because I tabbed target to target, and that just backfired so hard. So I didn't end up getting trinket, but at this point we have vanish and we have big dam, and he's pretty much just dead. I'm gonna gouge him or garrote him, and he's toaster oven. GG's. So even though I messed up the blind, I had my burst up and I had my